This down.
Thank you. Welcome back to What's Happening Wednesday. We haven't had one in a while, and so we figured we really have a lot to talk about. But the biggest thing we need to discuss is the reservation and capacity update at Disneyland. We figured it would be a good time to, see if we could really sit down and look into it, discuss it, especially because Chapek made some comments today.
He did. I'm going to pull up the chat here. 1 second.
Okay. Oh, thank you, Jungle Cruiser. He said Bricky made history today. First vlog to walk entire 7-mile Disney Casino Resort perimeter. No way, I haven't seen it. Pray for the Laguna Niguel fire victims. Yes, please.
Yeah.
And that is so awesome for Bricky.
He was the first one to vlog there, period.
Yeah.
When it got announced, he went out there and did a live stream from the location. And was the very first one. Other people have gone since then. People who are visiting probably Coachella and things like that decided to make their way out there. And sorry, we're just getting everything adjusted.
Yeah, I just hate that there's white wall right there. It's bothering me so much.
Oh, well.
It's I
don't know what to tell you.
I cannot handle that. So I hope you're all having a wonderful Wednesday. It is flying by this week. We are just going to wait a minute while Spencer pulls up everything.
I wasn't ready.
I know, I set it for 7:35. Clearly, I should have set it for 7:45. So I apologize for keeping everybody waiting, and we thank you for actually taking the time out of your day to be here and for waiting. We really appreciate it. But like I said, the week is flying by. It's crazy. Orson says, I like your hat. Did you get it from World of Disney?
No, this is from New Era, which is an old era now because the licensing deal has run out. So there will be no more.
Shake the table.
There'll be no more of these hats made. Especially these, were very limited in when they first came out. But now there will be no more New Era Disney hats.
Well, thank you, Duckworth family, for the $5. Hi, Spencer and Katie. Love the McDuckworth family. Well, thank you. Looks like Tim is here.
World of Disney, Tim.
Thank you for all of you do. I just love your videos. Thank you. Disney needs to make flat brims. Well, if you watched our merch search, we had a little talk about that.
We chatted about it, yeah, because we have some theories on that. Well, I did, anyways. So it's in the merch search. You can check that out. It's it's my prediction, my speculation, but I think there's some weight to it, and it was something I predicted even before the contract ran out.
So it looks like our our moderator Jason is in here. One of them. He says good evening.
Good evening, Jason.
So if you have some Walt Disney World questions that we don't know for any reason, usually Jason knows.
He's already been on Guardians, right?
Jeffy the Adventurer, thank you for the $5. Hey, Katie and Spencer, hope your night is awesome. Well, thank you. So we have a lot to talk about right now.
Answer my question, though.
Sorry.
Jason went on Guardians, right?
Yes.
So
I'm sorry, my bad.
If you have Guardians questions at all, even though that's not the topic.
Go that way.
Yeah.
We do want to say, though, when we start kind of talking about this, the only thing is when we are live, we're not going to be directly engaging into the chat right away, so just give us a second to get the thoughts out, and then we'll bring it over to the floor. Feel free to talk amongst yourselves, though, and I'll kind of keep an eye on it as well. But the first thing we wanted to talk about was the reservation and the capacities at Disneyland. As you know, May 1st, officially the park went to full capacity.
Well,
so
they said.
There we go.
So they said. We heard that was happening, but then, based on what they said today, they had their 2022 second quarter earnings report where, they talk to their shareholders and discuss, the earnings and how things are going and what they foresee for the future. It's like a little check-in, a business check-in for them. And that's where this information was announced, that for the first quarter, they had a massive increase in customer spending for quarter one, and they attribute that to the success of Genie Plus, as well as the success of the food price increase and the shrinkage of said food. Kind of goes along with the price increase, but So they've been doing well, is what they're saying, and they're saying that it has exceeded their expectations as far as their earnings and how Genie Plus was going. They weren't sure if it was going to go well for people to pay for Fast Pass system, but I guess it has been very well received, and we've seen that at the parks where a lot of times you'll see some of those lightning lane lines just as long or longer than a standby line. In some instances, so you're kind of there's been a lot of debate amongst a lot of people and other channels kind of making these saying basically, is it worth it because you're having to wait in line for something you paid extra for, sometimes just as long as a standby line.
It seems sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't.
Depends on the day.
I've seen 50-50.
It
Real
depends on the
quick,
day.
thank you, Saul, for the $5.
Thanks,
Every
Saul.
time I have tickets for Disney, I watch you guys every day leading up for my trip. Thank you. I'm glad to hear that, and I'm glad it helps. And then let me see here. I enjoy watching your live chats. Thank you. This is a really good question from Orson. You're asking a lot of questions tonight, my friend. I'm hoping we can answer as many as we can, but says, really thinking about joining Patreon. When will your first edition there be? We're going to talk a little bit about that later.
Yeah.
We're going to first kind of talk about all of this.
Second half of the live, we'll
thank you
talk
for
about all
asking that.
Good question.
But as far as that meeting went, though, a
Right.
few people are speculating that the numbers aren't real or something like that. I've been seeing people
Interesting.
saying like, oh, it's inflated because of some Disney Plus. Like Disney Plus is the curveball with those numbers looking like they're so successful. I don't know that. I don't really understand stocks and everything like that. I don't really, so I can't really comment on something I'm not really.
I think what they're speculating is that the earnings are in one big chunk, and they're not. Maybe they're speculating that
something about ghost subscribe or something like or bots. It was something about Disney Plus subscribers like being either like not real. It was really confusing to me, but I saw a lot of talk about it.
I see what you're saying, because all this information is related to the parks, supposedly. So they're saying they've continued to see a strong demand, and they're encouraged by these trends. Now, when they say strong demand, this, I believe, in my assumption and my speculation, is the reason, and you've said this too, is the reason for the reservation system. They talk about it, he talked about it specifically today, and what they call the domestic yield strategy, right? Yield meaning to gain, it's really exceeding their expectations in regards to, Genie Plus, and the guests' willingness to come even though there's a reservation system. So what they're seeing is reservations haven't really impacted them as far as people going, you know what, I don't want to do that, that's a hassle, I don't want to go do a reservation system. No, they're still coming in droves regardless. So they're saying that it also helps manage their price per day that they're paying out for everything they need to pay for at the parks to provide an experience for everybody, so they can manage that wealth, right? He also said, this is quote, the domestic yield strategy has really structurally allowed Disney to increase that per capita spending, that daily spending that they spend on the parks, meaningfully without having to rely solely on raising the ticket prices. And then he followed that up by saying, we don't see any end to that in the near future. So is he saying that they're not going to increase ticket prices, or is he saying that we're not going to have to rely on just that for what they're getting out of the year? I don't know if that's the case. I don't think they're going to back off on raising ticket prices. Do you?
No, they will always. I'm pretty sure that come January, February, like usual, we always see prices get raised. I think what they're saying, or what he's saying,
they're not going to have to rely on it.
It's not going to be the only thing. I'm pretty sure that
you got to look at the
reservations aren't going to go anywhere for a very long time. I think it would take literally people not going, but what we all don't realize is, and this is, I've said it once, I've said it twice, I've said it a million times, reservations purely are creating demand.
Right.
And if you don't see it, I don't know what to tell you.
And what she means by that, demand. And real quick, you want to do a super chat?
Yeah, real quick. McDuckworth family, thank you. Super interesting, Spencer. Thank you for the $2. Christian, thank you for the 2. I have blocked out days on summer on my Enchant key. Yeah. We'll talk a little bit about that more. Don't apologize for asking questions. They're all good. And then I'm just coming back to the chat. Frida says, well, reservations haven't impacted because they're hard to buy, so people are reluctant to cancel. Yes.
That's a good
Lori
point.
says, I paid $173 for a 1-day park hopper and was able to go on 6 rides between both parks on a Monday. That's not too bad. And then again, for staying afloat, we're going to talk about Patreon stuff towards after we talk about all of this. So we just want to kind of stay engaged in this topic, and then we'll go forward.
So I'm going to get back to demand, because that what we've derived and from what we've seen, we go to the parks a lot, more than your average bear, right? We're there sometimes on the weekends, but mainly midweeks. But we've been
doing some weekends
lately.
We
kind of have gone on most of the days, and what we've seen, that demand is real, because we haven't seen a lack in crowds. You know how once in a while in the old days it was like, oh, I went today and it was super mellow. It was weird. There wasn't really anybody there, and I was getting on a lot of rides. We haven't seen that happen one time in recent months. The demand is high. Now, I think that's what they mean by saying that the reservation system is it makes it easier for them to create that demand, in the sense of this. Think about it this way. Say you want to go to Disneyland next Saturday and you can't get a reservation, but you notice there's a reservation for Monday or Tuesday, and you're like, wow, maybe I should just take whatever I can get, because I can't get in on the day I want to get in, but I'm going to go on a Monday or Tuesday. So what that kind of means is, and it was the CFO talked about it too. I forget her name. I have it written down here somewhere. Christine McCarthy, the CFO, the Chief Financial Officer of Disney. She said they're choosing to limit attendance using the reservation system to balance the demand throughout the year. And when they mean balance the demand, I think they even said it. I think Pot Rock might have said it, that they don't want to have a crowded Saturday and then following Tuesday it's super mellow. They don't want that, and they've literally stated that. They want that demand to be even across the board. And it's a business, of course they would want that, right?
Yeah, so
but that's what I think the demand means, is like if you can't get in on a Saturday or a Sunday and you see that Monday or Tuesday is available, you're going to snatch it up, because
also they're going to get you to go, because there are multiple times that we've woken up in the past and gone, we're probably not going to go today, we'll go do something else. And now you have a reservation, you're going to go. Not everybody's going to go and scan in and turn around and leave. So they're going to get you.
That's a good point, because of the being penalized for not showing up on your reservation if you were a magic key holder. I don't think it makes a difference if you're just a ticket holder. It's like you're the one who loses out.
I don't know how that. No, I don't know how. I don't think you're
penalized. It's just that you're not getting. You bought a ticket.
But then you might not be able to use it on it if it depends on the tier ticket. It's so complicated now. Honestly, nowhere else in the United States is there reservations or complexities as bad as Disney. Now, don't get me wrong, Disney is the premium product. I'm not arguing that. But now sometimes I actually do question, is it the premium product now? Because I see stuff at Universal Orlando. I'm not going to compare Hollywood. Sorry about it. But you kind of look at stuff that's going on at Universal Orlando, and I'm like, the stuff they're getting for your $1, they don't have VIPs. But I want to pay attention to the chat real quick. We have a couple of good comments. Blah says, no, he said, not only rely on price increases. So what he means is they are using a two-front attack. Raise prices and manage our day-to-day expenses via reservations. Hi, Steve Hall. Less for more. Less portions of food for higher price. Merch price increases. Enhanced upsell opportunities. Genie Plus will offset operating costs, says Metagamers. The magic is what you make it, says Lori. Somebody was saying, Lori says Disneyland is not the same, the magic is gone. I have heard that way too many times, and that's why this is very disturbing to us.
And it's funny, because this is what the CFO had said, that they are trying to manage and control the flow of guests with the reservation system to increase the guest experience. Now, that was a big deal. When I read that, I was like, wait a minute. You're trying to, control it to have a better consumer experience, but the consumers are not happy. So I'm not seeing really the worth in that, or if that is just them blowing smoke and just saying, we're trying to, make it better for you. But it's like, I've heard nothing but complaints from people saying like, man, the lines and the crowds are so insane.
Yeah, like I tried to order a hot dog or I tried to go
Right.
order a hamburger at Galactic Grill and there was a massive line just for this. And now, again, you got to remember, we're not talking about like the poor cast members that are like short staffed. If they're not given the tools, that they don't create the system.
No.
So we're not talking about that, and people aren't saying that. But again, you have to remember when we go to the park, we're probably running into and talking to at least maybe on a long day, maybe about 50 people, sometimes 20, sometimes, like I said, at the most, maybe 50.
Yeah.
And sometimes we get to talking, and more often than not lately, it has not been, oh, I had the best, most magical day ever. We're hearing people go, yeah, it was cool, but, if I'm being honest, this is going on, that's going on. And so that's why we're talking about this, because if we're seeing unhappiness, we're going to talk about it. Like, I mean, there's something about, you can't be toxic positivity all the time. It's good to be positive and very good to keep that mindset. We always do that. This is about living your best life, but
we're hearing the market research.
We also got to be real with
from the ground over there, from guests who travel from far away.
Okay, let me get to some of these. I'm sorry, we're not trying to ignore you in the chat there. The McDuckworth, thank you again for the $5. At Disneyland in Shanghai, the Chinese government limits citizens with only a top-rated credit score to 10. Do you think that will help in Cali? No, it would not. That's crazy if that's real. I don't know. Spencer, is your watch a Rolex Air King?
No.
Why has Disney's stock gone so low? The parks are so busy. I don't understand the stock thing, so we're not even going to begin to go too crazy.
Yeah, that has nothing to do with the parks.
Let me see. It doesn't seem like they're trying to control it for a better park. It is. They're not trying. They want more people in there.
They're just saying that. They're just saying that.
You have to realize they are a business. They want more people in there. To them, it's not a win-win on having an empty park. An empty park, it isn't going to do anything. The guest experience for them means you can buy more. You have more opportunity to get on more rides. That to them is what guest experience is. Let me see. Are you guys into sports? Do you follow the Angels? No. That doesn't mean I wouldn't go to a game or anything, but
we've gone to baseball games, but we're not like.
What do you think about the price increases? It's getting insane. Mackenzie, excuse me. Goodbye. I'm a new Magic Key holder. Would it be possible for me to get one of those electrical parade tickets? I think you just have to buy a ticket or maybe talk to somebody at the ticket thing.
There is no tickets for electrical parade. What are you talking about?
They have I think it's a ticket, a paper ticket when you buy a ticket. I think that's what she's talking about.
With the graphics on it, yeah.
Oh, okay, it's not true about I was going to say that doesn't seem true. About reservations. Okay, so regarding reservations, that's kind of what we're talking about, is that they're saying like they're basically not going anywhere is what was said.
It's similar to like Genie Plus. When Genie Plus came out, or when it was announced, everybody was in an uproar. People were saying, I'm not going to buy it. I'm never doing that. I'm not, everybody was up in arms. But when it came around, what they saw was the complete opposite, and everybody bought it, and everybody uses it, and locals to visitors to long-range travelers, everybody uses Genie Plus. So what kind of message does that send to them? It sends them the message that, hey, this works, people are willing to buy it, so they're not going to do away with it. Same thing with the reservation system. It hasn't deterred people from coming to the parks. What it has done is brought more demand spread out over, like I said, over the course of a 7-day week, right? Saturday's crowded, Monday's crowded. We heard today was massively crowded, and this used to be.
My stepdad was there today, and he was like, "Katie, it's insane." He's like, "It's a Wednesday. How is it so crowded?"
Wednesday was always statistically one of the slowest days of the week, give or take. That's what they were trying to overcome. So now they have this consistent draw. So of course they're going to keep the reservation system. It's working for their purposes. They've also talked about that it's helping them staff because they have a staff problem with not enough people. I could see that in the beginning, but I don't know if that's so much the case now. I speculate a little bit, and I don't know because this is just me just throwing it at the wall, is that I don't think they're hiring as many people as they claim they need. I think that they're kind of,
You also we were talking, ranting about it, because honestly, we complain about this reservation system daily.
Yeah.
You wouldn't even want to be around us. We literally are just, we hate it. It's horrible.
But we still go.
So yeah, it doesn't matter. So
we're part of the problem, just
about
like,
it. We were talking about it though, and you were saying, I was like, yeah, but they use it to manage like staff and whatnot. And what were you talking about? How like you're like, it's always busy. How could like
Oh, that was,
how do you not
that's
need,
a great point.
Yeah,
So
this was good.
Okay, so what I meant was, when they say like, yeah, we like to know what the numbers are going to be so we can appropriately staff and appropriately stock.
How many times
the
have you
food.
heard this phrase,
Okay.
right? So think about it right now. Before you even start talking, think about how many times you have heard Disney or somebody saying, you know, we have these reservations so we can manage the guest experience and we can manage our staffing. It's a win-win for everybody,
Their labor
right?
needs and the cost per capita, per day.
Right.
Well, when it's crowded every day, what are you managing? The difference between 100 or 200 people? I don't really think that's going to affect how many cast members you put in the parking structure or how many cast members you put at Rise of the Resistance. If it's crowded every day, what's the difference?
Yeah, you're gonna need let's just say, not really, but
Yeah.
you're gonna need 500 cast members almost every freaking day because it's always crowded, pretty much, right?
So you're not gonna hire.
So what's the difference? What do you really?
1 or 2 cast
managing?
members, because there's a difference between 1 or 200 people,
and not to mention, how do you really get an accurate reading when I'm gonna say at the end of the night, and we've been guilty of doing this, where we've gone to scan in and left.
Mm-hmm.
So you're really managing, like you're assuming, I guess maybe if they say, well, out of again, I'm making up a random number, out of 70,000 people that are coming today, we're gonna assume that 25% are gonna either do a no-show or they'll just come and scan in. You don't know that. There's no way to really predict.
So that's why we
all of that. So how is that really helping?
We challenge that notion that it's really helping them manage labor and their cost put out, each week, because it's crowded every day. So I don't see a difference where if I'd seen a day or two here or there where it was like, wow, it's really empty today, then you go, oh, you know what, that makes sense, because then they don't have to hire as many people over there at Mickey and Friends parking structure. That's another thing. I'm not in the parking game and I'm not in that kind of business, but I have seen an exorbitant amount of cast members working in the parking structure, whereas it's like if there's some sort of shortage, why do you have 7 people
in a parking lot
for one row of parking? You got one guy to bring you on this row, cool. Got another person down there guiding you in, here's this spot, and then I see a golf cart go by with 6 people in it just driving around. Now, they could be placing them other places. Like I said, I could be ignorant on this, but I see a lot of people in the parking structure where I'm like, okay, this doesn't seem like they're managing labor. And I'm not saying that those people shouldn't be there. I'm glad they're working. I'm glad they all have gigs. My point is, I think it harkens back to the fact that you're not managing labor and trying to cut costs there, because I see people all over the place where it seems like an excess. If I was managing it, I'd be like, why are there 5 people in a golf cart not doing anything if I'm the manager? Now, again, I could be ignorant and I don't know. If you work in that part of the park or whatever, please educate me and make me understand why that is, and the excessive coning and all that kind of stuff that's going on. That's a lot of work.
But Captain, that's what we're talking about. The reservation, that exact sentence right there. The reservation system may help the park plan for the day, food, merch, and cast members. But
Correct.
What we're saying is, it's always busy.
It's
how is it any different from Sunday to Monday to Tuesday to we have been there on a Saturday, we've been there on a Wednesday, we've been there on a Tuesday, we've been there on a Sunday. You name the day of the week, it's always the same.
And
it's very rarely, unless it's raining, maybe I guess that kind of throws a monkey wrench in it.
But when you're talking, I don't even know what the capacity is of that park.
I don't know. I know Dylan knows it and he was talking about it.
But when you're talking the difference between a few hundred to maybe 1,000, is that really going to make that much of a difference as far as how many people you staff and where you staff them? And
yeah, you have to realize the curtain, behind the curtain, reservations are literally to create demand. They are in a game of demand, capacity. They make you want that premium product
because you can't
get it. It's why a designer bag, even though it costs so much money, I admit it too, but because you don't see a million of them, they're not all available. It's more of the premium product.
Well,
you want it more.
It's the nightclub that you drive by on the Sunset Strip, and there's a line down the block, and you're like, "What's that place?" Meaning, it's supply and demand. So if not everybody in that line is getting in,
I so wish it wasn't never that crowded during the week. We are there during the week for a living. Trust me,
And
it is crowded.
Today was
insane.
packed, and it's Wednesday, which is historically the lightest day of the week. So that's our point. Is we're hearing.
Okay, great question. Big up trade off for reservations. If all passes go up $300, would you trade that for no reservations? I would trade that for $2,000.
I would trade that yesterday. Yeah.
I would have. Oh, Pixar Charlie's here. Hi, Charlie. Okay, he's just popping in. Jeremy Sharp also sent $10. Thank you so much. Let me see here. That's the PR answer from Disney, says Sheena. Mismanaging labor is the right descriptor. But yeah, just because they have too many parking people, don't hire enough food servers.
Well, that's kind of my thing. And what I've noticed also.
Hold on, I want to answer some of these real quick.
Right.
Hello from Alberta, Canada. Needed this today, tough week. We had to put our cat down last night, unfortunately, your energy.
No.
And I'm sorry it's not the most positive yippee, but we are sorry for your loss, and maybe it's a distraction. So
we know the feeling. So
that's okay. Monique also think that Dream Key with no blackout date should not have reservations. I think just about everybody would agree with you on that one.
Yeah.
I have seen people though say I've had the reservation system. It was not a problem for me. I also read a comment from somebody, and I didn't catch her name, but somebody also commented and said, as an out-of-state guest, I love having a reservation. Now, the only thing I want to say to kind of challenge that, because I can see how you would feel like, oh, hey, I have a reservation. I know I get to go.
Right.
But without reservations, the rarity that happened when people said, oh, it's too packed, we're at capacity, and I didn't get to get in. That happened maybe in December a few times or during the overnight parties. Also, just because you got a reservation, that also doesn't guarantee that you're going to get into Disneyland. So the security of thinking, well, I have a reservation, I'm good. If that park fills up too much and the fire marshal says, you know what? No, you're done. That does not guarantee you entry. So that little perception of, oh, I have a reservation, I'm good to go, it's the same difference. So anybody defending the reservation system, you have to kind of think of something better than that one, and I don't mean that in a snarky way. I'm just saying you really have to think of some other way that's going to benefit you, because reservation systems are not helping with crowds. They are not helping with staffing.
No.
They're not guaranteeing you to get in the park. So what are they doing? They're driving demand. Tim has a good comment. He says, I do not speak for a brand or company. This is my own view. So clarify that. We used to have a non-peak season, but every time is peak season now. Spring break used to be a few weeks. Now it's 8 to 12 weeks based on school. There you go. I completely agree with you. There used to be a slow time, refurb season,
right?
February.
And I think to be fair, in a business sense, and I'm speaking ignorantly because I don't know, but I think that when you look at the numbers from, say, a past year, and you see a consistency, I think that is a positive thing for the shareholders or for the people that are paying for this. See, hey, look, they've consistently packed this park every single day through all the 4 quarters, as opposed to, hey, look, there's this one month where we had a bunch of different days where we didn't even hit our target, and it just doesn't look good for the bean counters or the people that are doing the statistics about the business. If they can prove that, look, we have packed this park 95% of the time throughout the year, they look better, the shareholders are happy, the people who are putting up the money for these parks are happy. I think it's something they want to see success all the way across the board.
This is a good comment.
As somebody like Chapek who needs to prove that for his job. He needs to prove that he's done something.
This is a good comment. COVID pent up demand for 2 years too. Heck yeah.
Yeah.
Between that and the driving up, but then also you can look at it from the other perspective of, there's still a lot of people that are kind of terrified to go, rightfully so. So you kind of want some demand to make sure that they're going to come. that's going to kind of give them that little edge and that push to go, well, you have a reservation. Oh, okay, I guess I'll go.
Yeah.
There are some people that are just on the fence, so you can look at it from both sides. But very, very good observation there. Sean from Phoenix, thank you for the 5.
Thanks,
the
Sean.
reservation system The reservation system works out of state key holders.
Works for out of state key holders.
Oh, I'm missing that. Wow, Katie.
You miss a word, it changes the whole thing.
Before keys, we always went Monday through Thursday.
So do you mean that?
I just want to clarify what you were saying.
Well, I think what Sean was trying to say was that they couldn't go on the weekends because it was too crowded.
Oh, okay.
Is that the reservation?
Is that what
works
you're trying
for
to
out of
say,
state key
Sean?
holders before keys?
I just want to make sure if we're
You went
commenting, we're
Monday
saying
through
the right
Thursday.
thing.
Well, he was saying it went Monday through Thursday, so I would say what he's saying is that they can go on the weekends.
Yeah, weekends were the worst. Yeah, they
They
were,
still
and
are.
now it's just busy all the time. It's
It's
consistent.
busy all the time, and then weekends have a little bit more of a push. I would say that's the only difference, maybe as far as like.
David says, I like this comment, and this is so true because I am that person, and I am so sick of it. It makes my head want to explode, but there's nothing I can do about it. I am tired of hearing pass holders complaining about reservations. You know, it's like that's why we bought a pass.
Right.
It's like buying something and the product kind of sucks. You know, have you ever especially when you spend $1,500 on something and the product sucks. Yes, it does allow us to go and not have to buy a ticket every time, but really the product stinks. They don't offer us what we used to get. We used to get buttons, we used to get shirts. It's so stuff like that, yeah, we complain.
Disney Queen 72 says an out-of-state key holder reservation system doesn't necessarily work because usually want to go more than 4 days, but with Enchant Key we can't.
Right, and then even if you had the higher key, you might not even be guaranteed that too. So
right,
yeah, it's true. And then I went on my spring break middle of week reservation. We're supposed to be filled up before we went. Yeah, then they opened them up, and that's the other thing. You don't know exactly when they're going to open up. You're trying to plan. They're supposedly there to help you plan. Is it really helping you to plan? No, $1,500 per pass. That's not for 2 people.
But I think talking about the passes, I think they dropped the ball on the restructure because there was no real restructure. The only thing that changed was not blackout dates, that there was a reservation thing that you could only get up to 6 reservations, and everything was kind of the same as far as they had an opportunity to completely start over. And if the APs were the issue as far as crowding the parks, then they should have done something to the top tier or the top 2 tiers that made it a little bit more expensive and less attainable for the masses. And I'm just saying that because that's what you do that's why there's not an excess amount of 33 members, because it's very expensive, right? Mm-hmm. So that's how they control that. And there's a waiting list on top of that. But as far as they didn't change any of the structure, and they didn't make it so that they should have said no payments. You got to pay this upfront top tier $2,500 for that pass, no blackout dates. You get to come whenever you want. Make it premium. But
that's because they want people to still come. So to say that they wanted to not, make it busy for people, that's a lie to you. And if you're believing that, then
go to the parks like we do
wrong.
at night.
They want it to be busy. They're a business. That's their product. They want you to come. Why do you think they have commercials? Advertising Main Street Electrical Parade. Why do you think they have TikTok merchandise? Why do you think they want that? They don't want it to not be busy for you. That's not what Disney is in the game of. Is I want it to not be busy so that Bill and his family can have a really magical day. No. That's what they want you to buy food. They want you to get merchandise. Yeah. They don't care if you're not going to get on a million rides. That's a you problem, not a their problem.
Right.
So for you to think, I want, they're going to lower prices or, do a pass. If they really wanted to do that, they would do an annual pass, like what Spencer said. Make a $5,000 pass, and you can't make payments. They could easily do that.
But that wouldn't make them.
But they ain't gonna
money
do it
across the board. They want money.
So Aaron sends $2. I just want to say I miss you guys. That's it. I miss you.
Miss you, Aaron.
I miss you more. Sorry, let me get to some of this chat because we're just ranting.
Yeah.
You know what? Sometimes you gotta rant. This is the kind of stuff that's going to be on Patreon.
There was one more thing I wanted to say though. Someone told me this saying the other day, and it was so perfect. And feel free to pass it on. I didn't make it up, but they said Disney doesn't make sense, right?
Yeah.
It makes dollars.
Wait, Frito, what are you talking about? Why do you hate poor people? Who does?
Did we say that? I don't think we said that.
No. I said that's what they could do.
Well, you didn't hear my saying.
Oh, sorry, my
bad.
I just want to make sure what she was talking
about. So yeah, Disney doesn't make sense. It makes dollars.
Exactly.
So sense in the terms of it doesn't make sense what they're doing, like sense in the mind, and they don't make sense as in CENTS. They make dollars. It's a play on words. Stay with me, Katie. It's okay.
Good question here. Do you guys enjoy Disney as much as you used to? We definitely. Oh, she wasn't talking to me. I was like, dang! Oh my gosh! I felt sad. I enjoy it. And we do.
It's different, and the world is different.
Because we also have a reality. So remember, we're not stupid. We realize that there also is a world where we could not be going to Disney. Like, I remember what it was like for that long to not be able to go, and it sucks. You know,
it's the kind of thing where it's just we're in just a different reality. Do we enjoy it as much? Sure, but I think even if you took out all these gripes and all these concerns, and you took out the 2-year lockdown and all that stuff, it would still be a different time for us in our evolution of our Disney experience. So, like I said, regardless of all that stuff happening for the past couple of years that was so terrible, even if that didn't happen, we would still be in a different evolved Disneyland, Disney World than it was when we first started going and first started doing social media. That's how the world works. That's how life works. You know, it evolves and changes, and you as a person change and grow. So you just learn to appreciate things differently. It's like when you get older and you physically can't do things that you could do when you were younger. You still appreciate them and do them. You just appreciate it on a different level. So
I think what's getting me, and what is I'm going to say to answer that question in another aspect, when people say, "Are you enjoying Disneyland as much as you used to?" There is a part of me, no, I don't. I don't like seeing friends and hearing from people. I'm saying, like, again, when we used to run into people or I talk to people on social media, I'm talking in my DMs all the time, answering comments, you name it, I'm there. Emails, that's pretty much what I do, and that's what I've been doing for 5+ years.
Yeah.
But the thing that I want to say is that when I'm seeing 50% or more of people saying, I am miserable, this sucks, my family couldn't come,
or the magic's gone, or
my daughter is crying because I couldn't figure out this stupid reservation system, my grandma couldn't come with us because she couldn't figure out this stupid reservation system, my phone, I have to sit on my phone all day trying to figure this out, I've got this reservation to make at 12, park hopping starts at 1, but then I can only mobile order from Galactic Grill. Do you think I enjoy hearing that? No, that sucks. I don't like that, and I don't enjoy it, and I'm pissed about it. I don't care that, I have to, I have to make a reservation, boo-hoo for me. But the problem is, it's not really something that's going to affect our lives as much. We can bop over there and scan in. End of day. But you know what pisses me off? Is that I'm a human, and I'm going to have a bad day where I wake up and I have a migraine or whatever, and something's wrong with me, or I had, anxiety, and I made a reservation and I don't get to go. Guess what? Somebody else could have had that reservation. That bothers me, that I took a reservation from somebody, and at the end of the night when I scan in and I'm like, you know what? I had to walk down here with a migraine. Yeah, that sucks for me, but what really sucks is that's a couple that could have went. And I didn't, because of me.
Well, and
so I feel that.
But what you're
guilt.
saying is, if you were able to cancel in the morning and the day of, you could have provided a reservation for somebody.
For other people. So it's between me hearing what happens to people and how, hey, I spent all this money on this trip and we only got on 4 rides because I couldn't understand, this. We didn't get to see World of Color because we don't understand this system. We couldn't figure out how to order our burger at Galactic Grill because the mobile order expired and I got charged. I missed it. My phone doesn't have this networking capability.
Here's my answer, is what they should have done, instead of instead of taking a negative stance on if someone's a no-show, because the no-show thing, I think it does suck, right?
Yeah.
It's not cool to do, right?
Yeah.
But what they should have done is incentivized you releasing your reservation, say before
a certain time,
8 or 9 a.m. on the day of,
right,
and said, hey, thank you for doing that. You get a discount on food or merch.
or redeem this and get a sticker. I don't know.
Right, but make it a positive instead of punishing people for not showing up and being like, you're bad. And it's like, the punishment thing is weird, especially when you're somebody who is supposed to be a magic key holder.
Right.
And, how does punishment fit within magic?
Right.
You know what I mean? Or the Disney ideal of like the happiest place on earth. But if you don't show up, we're going to punish you.
Yeah, it makes me sad that my mom
because you can't cancel.
My mom raised me in Disneyland. I live an amazing life that I got raised doing that. But my mom can't figure out how to sit on the phone and navigate. Could your mom? No, I don't think so either. She's like, I don't want to sit on my phone.
Yeah.
So it's those types of things that it makes me sad because you're cutting out a big chunk of people. You're bringing a negative cloud into the park. So in that aspect, no, I'm not having as good a time as I used to, and I'm being honest with you. Now again, it's always going to be Disneyland. It's always going to be magical. My home is there. All these wonderful people are there. So that's a really good question, and I'm glad that you answered that. Sean, thank you for the $2. Spencer, it's the opposite for me at work. Dollars, cents. Okay.
Dollars do make sense.
Grandma Tam, I save and spend thousands of dollars a year to take a family vacation to either Disneyland or Walt Disney World. Every year I pay more and get less. Sad. I have loved Disney forever. This year switching to a cruise, not Disney. That's another thing I'm seeing.
Well, that's what they did with the food. They shrunk all the food and charged more for it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's literally less for more. Like they're literally proving that point.
And listen, we're always going to be able.
But they say we're trying to, increase the guest experience and make it better. Like, how's that? How are you doing that? But yet you're doing this.
This is a good thing I want to adjust because right here, Victoria said, I say keep reservations and limit how many people can go in and that's it. But listen, they don't want that. They want that park to be wall-to-wall people. So much so that even the fire marshal is going to say, hey,
but here's the thing.
I don't care if they have a reservation.
She makes sense when she says that, and I agree.
No, I agree with what you're saying, but I'm saying,
hear me out. Hear me out. What I feel like the misconception of that is they say they're limiting the amount of people, but that's not the limit that we perceive as like, oh, cool, it's going to be mellow. Like, you remember the first couple of weeks when we got in, and it was like the capacity was like so small that it was like there was no one on Main Street, and it was like you could get on anything.
Yeah.
It's not that kind of limitation, and if it was, I would say, yeah, you're right. They should keep reservations and keep the park kind of ghost towny and fun like that, but it's not the case. They're limiting it to a level that is still packed, but it's just not like overpacked. Like it is packed, and to the sense that anybody in their right mind would go, man, it is crowded today. Now, can it get more crowded? Yeah, we've seen it gnarly. We've seen it like
on New Year's.
New Year's or something. It's wall to wall and you can't move. It's almost unsafe, right?
Yeah.
So I understand what you're saying as far as keeping capacity, and what they're even saying, we're doing it to control the flow to increase the guest experience. They're not, because they're packing the place, but they're just cutting it off just enough to make it like, hey, we're controlling it. And it's like, yeah, but how much are you really controlling it? And how much, and people, and they're kind of putting people in a sense of, hey, I got on 6 rides in both parks. It's like, that's not that's not great for like your Disney day that you get to do once a year or once every once in a while. You got on 6 rides out of both parks. Like, but they're starting to kind of make that seem like, hey, that's good. That's not bad. And it's like, that's not fair to people. They should be able to get on a lot of rides. They should be able to get on 10 rides if you're there all day for both parks, if you ask me. 6,
now, don't get me wrong. I've seen that Genie Plus thing and people timing it out right, especially following our videos and some of the options we've given.
That does work.
I have seen people do amazing with jobs, with their park day with the Genie Plus. So I think it definitely can work for people.
Yeah.
But the thing is it shouldn't be this strategic, I have to get there at 7 a.m., do this. It shouldn't be that way. I don't think. And again, I hate saying this and I hate being that type of person, but I don't think when Walt created this, he thought, I'm gonna need people to basically be, what's that gif or gif with what's his face in The Hangover when he's like, doing all the calculus. It shouldn't be that way. Like, shouldn't it be fun? Like, it shouldn't be this crazy, Reservations had a place during opening up, but now it really doesn't exist at all. Exactly. There's literally no point, but there is a point to Disney, and we all know what that point is now.
They use that as an opportunity to, in the beginning, say, hey, we got to do this and limit it and keep people safe. 100% they did. Mm-hmm. And the state was demanding it, so they had no choice. But what they didn't do was put in a plan to pull it back. They even left the trams not running for an excessive amount of time when it was like far beyond the safety issues. It was just that they were making and saving millions of dollars by not running that tram. And I'm not joking when I say millions of dollars as far as staffing, fuel, insurance, all that stuff. They saved a lot of money, and that was not for that wasn't for a lack of it wasn't for safety, and it wasn't for like, oh well, they're broken. No, that was somebody did the numbers and went, look at this, if we don't run these for another 2 months, we'll save $15 million,
Now
whatever the number is.
There is, somebody had said, I seen videos where the park was absolutely empty during the week, or in the past week. Now what you're seeing most likely, and this is just how it is, in the very early morning hours or towards the end of the night, you will see little spots where it's super, super empty. And so you will be able to get that footage, and you'll have those things. So, and every once in a while, like maybe it could rain, something could happen, like, so that's not, we're not saying that doesn't ever happen. What we're saying is, though, it's just not the reality of, what Disney is. And you can watch videos. All I can say is we can only speak from our experience of people who go usually about, on average, twice a week for the past how many years? Me, since I was a kid, Spencer, the last 5 years or so, maybe 6.
Well, but I've been coming to the park since 72.
Right, but I'm talking on a consecutive, regular basis, almost weekly. So it's one of those things. Eric says pass holder since 1988. Pretty much same here. 1989 or 1990. This is the worst in all around experience that it has ever been, and I think a lot of people would agree. Again, remember, when we're talking about all this, we're still coming from a place of loving Disneyland. Our channel, we're always going to be Disney fans. But we're trying to just keep it real with you, because I don't want to be this like toxic positivity of like, it's fine, and the wheels are on fire. We have to talk about this stuff, because the reality is there is a shadow that's happening, and things are changing. And for management and stuff to look at this and go, yeah, this is great, when it's like, how can you say it's great when we're running into people that watch our channel, or they, whatever, they maybe know us or don't, and we're running into people, or we're standing behind people in lines, and all you're hearing is, this sucks. And you're like, what? So like, there's something going on. Something's rotten in Denmark, if you will. And that's
the only reason we're talking about it, is because this stuff came out today about how they're so, all of their success in the first couple of quarters here has exceeded their expectations, and they're patting themselves on the back, saying, like, we did so good by introducing Genie Plus, and we did so good by keeping these reservations, and we're keeping them because look what it did for us, and look how it's creating your experience and making your experience better. So that's what we're just challenging, that aspect of it, as people who are consumers of it and people that we talk to. That notion that the guest experience is being plussed and being catered to is 100% not true, and it's PR. The rest of it, I'm sure they did make money, and I'm sure they are being successful with Genie Plus and the food and the reservations. But the guest experience portion of those comments, I think, is PR fluff.
Yeah, and not to say that there aren't people that don't come all the time, so they don't really have anything to compare it off of.
Yeah.
They're probably like, yeah, it was fine. Like, what else are you gonna expect? There are people that have had good times. We're not saying there aren't people going, no, it's been a good day. We do run into people that say that.
Yeah.
Even there are days where we go and we're like, wow, it was a really good day today.
Yeah.
So don't think that we're saying that. Okay, back to this here. Jessica Lopez, thank you for the $10. I will fully admit I would always bump me out to hear you talk like this, but but tonight at this moment I fully understand what your stance is. Again, out reservations, and I'm 100% with you. Well, thank you. You know, I think the reality is we have to be real. We're not that channel that's gonna just we're just not that channel. Like, our channel is us. Our channel is about the reality. It's about who we really are.
Yeah, and 90% of the time it's all fun and games.
But that isn't real life.
No.
That ain't. So thank you for being with us and allowing us to be our real selves. We appreciate that. Thank you for the 5, McDuckworth. Spencer, Katie, do you think we should cancel our July trip to Disneyland after hearing this? No, go.
No.
If you want to go somewhere, you go for it and enjoy it.
Just expect
this stuff and work around it.
Yeah.
Peter, thank you for the 10. They might have been conditioning us for this when we celebrated getting reservations for Rise when it first opened.
Oh yeah.
Foreshadowing obtaining reservations for the park.
Yeah.
That's a good thought.
Good point. Yeah.
Sonia says we can't afford to go for now. Too much. Paid about $450 for 3 people in 2019. And went hungry in there, brought food in. Next time, I want to get all the food, goodies, and merch that I missed out on. I mean, I'm sorry that happened, and good for you for seeing, like, hey, this is what I want to do, and I want to do it, and I think you can, and you'll have a good time. Christine, thank you for the 5. Thank you for having this conversation. I agree with you both and the diminished guest experience. And, you know, thank you for people that are speaking up and saying, like, I don't agree with you, Katie and Spencer, and allowing us to challenge that. You know, it's nice to be able to talk about it and know that, like, we're just having a good debate and a conversation about it, and there ain't no harm, no foul. And you know what? We're not all going to agree on everything.
No, no.
So, Jamie Lynn says, unfortunately, this is the new Disney, and we have to accept the good and the bad. To be honest, you're right. Because there's nothing we can do about it. If we want the product.
Well, yes and no. I would say that there's an old adage, the squeaky wheel gets the grease. Meaning, if there's a wheel that's squeaking and it needs grease, you'll know because it's making noise. Now,
Which it seems to be.
If we don't speak up as consumers and we just accept it, this is what ends up happening. And you're seeing it firsthand by way of their first quarter earnings are exceeding their expectations because they're like, hey, in our eyes, you guys are not complaining because they only speak in terms of dollars and cents.
But do you think that's real though? I don't know.
But
now that I saw that, I'm like, oh.
Well, we don't know. But what I'm saying is they speak in terms of money. That's it. It's a business, right? So we've all, agreed on that. The way that you affect them is to say, hey, I'm not going to buy that Genie Plus thing. And if a lot more people do it to where they can see a drop.
Somebody just said that, you speak with your wallet.
Exactly. And they understand with theirs and the money that they're getting because that's all they know. They do surveys and stuff. Yes. They hear complaints at City Hall. Sure. But does that really get to the shareholders? It's about the money that's being spent. And the money says that all of us are in full acceptance of their new ways and what they're doing.
We're going.
That's right.
Daydreaming Mom, thank you for the $10. Went for Star Wars After Dark. It's crowded but awesome. It was fun.
That was fun.
Stayed at the Grand for 6 days. Comfiest beds. I love that. You need to pre-order food at least an hour before you'll. See, that sucks. But you know what? As long as you had a good time, that's all that matters.
Yeah. Well, that's why we encourage you to watch. YouTube creators that are on the ground at Disneyland to keep up with what's going on. Because if you don't, and if you don't know what's going on, and you show up there, you're kind of like, whoa, what do I have to do? Why I have to use this app thing, and I got to order food early? Wait a minute, I didn't know that. I'm starving, and it's 12 o'clock.
Yeah.
So.
Tyler, thank you for the 5. I'm going to Disneyland for the first time this June after going to Disney World many times. What are some must-dos? We're actually making a video on that. So I don't want to dismiss your comment at all, but
let's give them one must-do.
I'll give you a must-do, and that is to get there at the butt crack of dawn. Get there early. Get there early. But what is like a must-do in the park as far as, I would say do a Grand Circle tour on the train.
The train is a must-do at Disneyland.
Or do a sunset ride on either Casey Jr. Or the canal boats, Storybook canal boats.
For me, the must-do, I'm going to give you 2 of them. Haunted Mansion and hopefully Pirates is open, being kind of a classic appreciator of the old era, those things to me speak Disneyland to me.
Ooh, Jason, great comment. Enough complaints got us Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party returning. Hey! Sean, thank you for the 5. We were there in March and got Genie Plus every day, and we're able to do every ride with an hour between to relax. Sean, see, I told you, there are people that have done it, and they do it. But, like, if I was to put my mom with Genie Plus, she ain't gonna figure that out.
Yeah, that's
Not
true.
to save her life.
That's true.
I can think of a few families that I know that would not be able to figure out Genie Plus.
That's
it
the
would
only bummer.
stress them out.
That's the only bummer for people.
I'm glad that it works for a lot of people because, hey, that makes me happy when I hear families that get to do what they want to do. There is nothing I love better.
Now, I have a question for you, though.
Wait, let me read these first.
All right, but I have a question.
Annette, thank you for the 5. We appreciate that.
And the emoji.
And the emoji, the way I see it, as Miss James says, the way I see it, even if it's crowded and a poor experience, maybe I'll still bump into you, and that's a win.
That would be awesome. But here's my
You are
question.
so sweet.
Here's my question. And Sean, I'm happy that you had a good experience with Genie Plus and you got to do everything, because that's the idea of the design of that system.
Mm-hmm.
Had it been, let's say, 3 years ago, and it was just classic Fast Pass, would Sean have still had that same experience without having to pay?
Oh, duh. It was the same thing. It was literally the same thing.
So that's my point is it's sad that everything has to be upcharged a little bit after you're paying $150 or more to get in per day. But
yeah, and actually he would have had a better day because Max Pass, Fast Pass, as you were trying to say,
you can use them multiple times.
You can do it multiple times. So actually, Sean would have had a better day.
That's all. It's just
to say he wanted to use that twice to go on Thunder Mountain or 3 times to go on Thunder Mountain, he'd be able to.
Yeah.
So there you
go. Not diminishing your experience, Sean, at all. Just using your thoughts as an example of like, well, I wonder if a couple of years ago it would have been the same thing. The only difference is that we're in 2022 and Disney needs to make more money, and so we all pay.
Yeah.
There's people who have speculated about things like World of Color or Fantasmic that they're going to start charging for that kind of stuff. And the day that comes, we'll go back to this video and we'll take this clip out and we'll go, look, remember we talked about this? Because that, when you think about it, a couple of years ago, if you told me that they're going to start charging for FastPass, we would have all gone like, come on, get out of here. That's free. Why would they? No one's going to pay for that.
Yeah.
So.
Jason says, let's remember Walt technically created this when he had ride tickets for X amount each.
That's true.
That's true.
That's true.
Good point.
Yeah. We're kind of
going.
To your point, we're kind of going back to that in a sense.
Yeah,
just
in a way.
At a higher rate, but mark my words, this is just the beginning of upcharges at Disneyland and Disney World as far as things that they are going to separate and go, well, yeah, sure, you want to go see that? The demand is so big, we got to charge for it now.
Right. Do we have any more we want to talk about this? Because we have to talk about our Patreon announcement in a little bit, or like pretty soon here, because we're running
the only thing that was mentioned by the CFO.
Oh my gosh, sorry. Let me read these super chats while you read them.
And you ask me a question and then you shut me down.
Well, no, while you can figure
no,
you got it. Well, let me get to these because they'll go away. Well, they came in as you were reading them. What do you want me to do? Time it out?
Welcome to my life, you guys. I get asked a question and then, so listen, real quick.
Okay.
The CFO.
If these disappear, I'm sorry.
And she's still talking. The CFO has said that they are going to like slowly increase capacity based on things coming out like Guardians of the Galaxy, Cosmic Rewind. With these things, supposedly they're going to expand the capacity of the park.
That's a
lie. I'm just saying. This is just quoting stuff that was said today.
Right.
So
I don't buy that.
We'll see if that happens. I don't know. But anyways.
I don't think so.
Now you are allowed to continue. I have anointed you to continue.
Okay, sorry. McDuckworth family says, do you both have a favorite fuel rod swap spot?
We haven't been using them as much lately because we bought like a bigger brick.
Yeah, you're right.
Like a recharge brick. But
there was one in Tomorrowland we really liked a lot. or Frontierland.
It just depends on where we're at in the park.
Hungry Bear.
Yeah, Hungry Bear.
Let me see here. Christian, thank you for the 2. Star Wars night was fun. It was nice meeting Spence.
Yeah, it was cool meeting you, Christian. Finally, right?
Renovations don't pay for themselves, says Alex. Everybody be sure to like this video. Why, thank you.
Thumbs ups, everybody.
Let's see here. Terry, thank you for the
Thanks,
10.
Terry.
Hey, my favorite Disney duo. I came in late, so I have to catch up, but I want these reservations in Disney Plus gone. They are taking away more and more of my money and fun. Agreed. Yes, this is a Starlight.
And then she means Disney Genie Plus, I believe. Yeah, Terry,
And you're
I know.
right, Spencer can't win. Pretty much.
Yeah.
He can't. Hey, Katie, I ran into you and Charlie on my night before my birthday. I left after everything in the park. You and Charlie made my night. Thank you. Well, thank you. Spence, what are we drinking? He's having a Cutwater mango margarita. We're going to have enchiladas tonight. So.
Yeah,
I was like, you better pour a margarita.
They look like that.
Yeah, he loves these
They're
Cutwaters.
good. Yeah, they're nice.
Yeah, they're really good.
I would never in the past subscribe to a canned cocktail.
Yeah.
But Cutwater,
I kept seeing them over at Whole Foods, and then one week they were on sale, so I bought a bunch of them, and I was like, we can have these for in case we go to the, go hang out by the pool or, whatever. I was like, we'll have some, and then if, company comes over, we don't have to, buy anything, and we'll have it. So I put them in the pantry, and then one day I put one of each in the fridge, and I said, try it, and you were like, these are great!
There's a Mai Tai that's really good. There's a lime margarita that's really good.
And the mango marg.
I
think those were the 3 that I bought, and you were like, these are great.
And they have other flavors. They have a Paloma. But yeah.
What's a Paloma?
It's tequila with grapefruit juice, I believe. So it's almost like a margarita, but with different, it's not lime mixed, but it's different, right? I think it's grapefruit.
Yeah.
Paloma.
I love that. They eat late because they can. Exactly. We have a crazy schedule where we are up really late sometimes.
So Kyle says, don't you think Chewbacca's Galaxy's Edge looks nothing like Chewbacca? I don't think so. I think he looks, close enough.
I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm not the biggest. I don't know everything about Star Wars.
I will say this. I think he looks better than some of the other characters around the park that are trying to look like something. He looks pretty close to real, as far as I know. But you look at something like, let's say, what's an example of something that's kind of off? They're like cartoon characters that are brought to life in a figure at the park. It's kind of like.
Oh,
do you know what I mean?
Over at I think it's at Tokyo Disney. They have the
those are
fairy
scary.
godmother, and she has the mask on.
Those are scary.
Horrifying.
There's a Cinderella like that, or I don't know. There's some weird. Those are really weird because they're humans, but they're like almost like a Westworld face, creepy.
Yeah. Okay, so now that we've kind of talked about the reservation update, our thoughts. Everything. Hi, Ladybugger Jen.
Hi, Jen.
Good to see you. There is not a Cutwater mint julep. Thank you, Steve Hall. Forget Starlight Coke. I drink Coke that's intergalactic.
So in the UK, Steve, right? They call it intergalactic.
Is that what they do?
Yeah.
Oh, it's not Starlight over there?
No, it's intergalactic, which I like that name way better. Being a Beastie Boys fan as well.
I like Starlight.
I don't.
Dude, the new blue milk in Galaxy's Edge is insanely good.
I
love it so much that I can't even go back there and order it because
it's kind of tart.
Dude, it's so good. And those jellies at the bottom, if I could eat a bowl of them, I would. It's like a sour gummy without the stuff on it and all that. It's so good.
Here's a good question. Betty says, what's the time of day, your favorite time to go to Batu? I like going in the evening because the lighting is pretty dramatic. I also like watching fireworks from there. And any time of day. It gets a little warm in the hot part of the day. It's there's not a lot of shade over there, but the evening is extra special.
Yeah, midday it's not fun.
The only problem with the evening though is you don't get the characters roaming around as much, if at all.
Well, that's why I'd say go just before the sun sets when it's cooling down. But it's not the mid-hot day where there's no shade. Okay, so we need to kind of switch gears here. And we need to switch gears here. we need to talk about our Patreon thing that we're kind of going to start launching this month slowly. This is not going to be just a like, bam, we're running with it.
Right.
This month is kind of going to be to test some things, see what's kind of working, what's not working. But I talked about it a little bit when I went live a couple nights ago. But now that you're all here, we're going to talk about it, answer some questions, and as we go, we'll talk about some input. So tonight is a good example where we're coming up, I think it's been a little bit over an hour. These What's Happening Wednesdays are going to be 1 hour. Now, if you're on the Patreon, if you're part of the Patreon family, if you will,
program,
we will end it at an hour, and then we will continue it over just for our Patreon. So they're going to get a bonus What's Happening Wednesday. It's going to basically be What's Happening Wednesday 2.0, but just for those private members.
Yeah.
Now, there are some people, this is a big question we keep getting. There are some people that originally joined for under $10, which is our bottom tier at $10. Those people, we're not going to bother you. If you've already joined and that's what you had, it's okay.
Grandfathered in.
So you're grandfathered in, you're fine. But going forward, if you're not at that $10 bottom tier and up, that's how it's going to go. So for those chats, though, we are not going to have super chats going on. They are just going to be for Patreons to hang out, to talk. It's obviously the goal of that is to be a little bit more intimate.
Yeah.
So we can talk just to you privately. That's how it's going to work. Now, we are going to have a $40 tier for our besties, our super besties, if you will. For those people, we are going to have also other streams just for them. We're going to try to aim to do about 5 extra live streams a week for you Patreon members.
A week or a month?
I'm sorry, a month.
I was going to say.
You guys would hate us.
I would hate you for making me work that hard.
Those $40 Patreons, we're going to actually do Zoom calls with them.
Yeah.
So that's going to be actually like face-to-face, and then the possibility for some in real life meetup type situations. Yeah. We'll talk about that as we go. We do have things. This is a good one. Olga says, I love you guys. I just hope you stick to the Patreon thing. Sometimes I feel like you launch stuff and it goes away. The weekly blab. The weekly blab, it just didn't work out. It wasn't something, it's different. This is a paywall, and the paywall is to stop negativity. It's to get a little bit more intimate with our real, like not a real, but with our audience, and that's what it's for, because we were finding that we're not able to do that as well. So that's kind of what it is.
Yeah.
I know, 5 weeks. Do you have a cap on members? No. And then Terry Robinson, is it $40 a month or a one time? Some people may just do it for 1 month and that's it. That's okay. Some people may be our, are people that do that every month, and so they're on that Zoom call every month. They're meeting with us every month. They are, we're also going to be doing a movie night with those $40 Patreons. So instead of sending us super chats, you can do that and you'll actually get something for it.
Right.
Now, again, not everybody can spend $40 a month on that, and we realize that, but you're going to get extra for your $10 a month. So know that, that's it. What you can do though is do that $10 Patreon, and you'll still get your behind the scenes content. We're going to make special vlogs for you, and we are going to have your extra live streams, like your extra What's Happening Wednesdays, just for you guys. So we'll be able to have an intimate thing for all the Patreons, not just that $40 tier.
Yeah.
We don't want to price anybody out. So I love that your Patreon is going to price out some of your thrifty basic. We're not trying to price out anybody.
They didn't say they loved it, just so you know. They just said, is it? Oh, is that what that means?
No, that says I love that.
Oh.
So we're not trying to do that. Carson, thank you for the 5. I just got here. What's going on? Sorry to ask. I have reservations in 2 weeks. Is it going to affect me? No, you are good to go.
It was just an update about, if you go back and rewatch it, it was about the reservation system sticking around and the company making statements about it, why it's sticking around, and all that.
Jade, basic fans shouldn't matter how much anyone can afford. No, we're talking about there are just people that are at different tiers, and that's how we're setting it up at. We're not saying anything about, anything like that. Let's see. I will be honest. Yeah, if it's not in your budget, that's okay. It's not for everybody. So that's why we do have the $10 one. That's a little bit more affordable. Again, instead of sending a super chat, you can basically do that, and then you're gonna get.
And also,
so you also don't have to do that. Nothing's changing.
Also, to be fair, nothing is changing as far as the typical output that we have in the live streams. We are adding another layer, and like Katie was saying, it's a paywall to get the extra layer. It's not like we're saying, hey, we're going to limit some of the stuff we're doing and charge for it. We're charging for a new added layer that we're implementing. Yeah. So don't be deceived that like, hey, what about us and everybody else who wants to just be here on these lives and enjoy the videos and all that. No, that's not going to change. This is just something that's being added. We're not doing the Genie Plus and charging for something that was always free. Yep. We are actually adding a new thing that we're charging for. That's all.
Yeah, and again, the effort for this, because there's been a lot of just trolling negativity. The reality is we do have to look at the reality is there's a lot of negative, gross people that are trying to...
Well, they're just trying to ruin the fun.
They're trying to ruin the fun. So in order to do that...
They're not happy in their lives, and so they're trying to jump into our fun and the fun that we all have. And, it's like tantrum style stuff. So we're just trying to, eliminate that. And
Yep. So again, I'm not saying everybody has to join that $40 tier.
No.
We're saying the main tier is really $10. And that's just what our price is. That's what it's going to cost in order for us to, to do that. So you don't have to join, but we want to offer it to you.
Yeah.
So $10 a month. What that will get you is extra long What's Happening Wednesdays and your behind the scenes content and extra live streams. And if comments are deleted, it's because they had to go, and that's what our moderators do. So
that's
if you don't like it, I don't tell you.
Welcome to the wonderful world of the internet. People hiding behind keyboards. It's just part of it.
So anyway, that's what you're getting for the $10, and there's a better description of it on our Patreon page if you want to see. What is it called? The description of exactly what it is. Go to the Patreon, and it'll show you the 2 tiers and what you'll get for it. Yeah. So, we really just want to find our extra way to, like I said, building this paywall. I think it's really going to help us, get to a place where we can be more intimate and close to, our family. So, it'll be there forever. It's not going to go away. It's the cost of bringing our extra magic. Thank you. Let me see here. Sorry, you guys provide exceptional information, so you have to price what you have to price. Thank you. That's just one of those things. We're still going to be here all the time. You're still going to get almost daily content.
Yeah, nothing will change.
I think another thing that this is going to help us do is to be able to, if there, sometimes we need to be able to take a day off during the week. So this is going to kind of help us with a little bit of doing that, because we have to keep ourselves right, and I think that just gives you a better product for Best Life and Beyond at that, just the free level. We love making the free content for you because that's how we find you. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just something that I'm hoping will end up being good for the channel. And especially with the possibility of meeting up and having a pizza party or something, that's kind of at that level, at that $40 level. That's something that we're going to look into. I'm not promising that right away, but you're going to get to kind of help us, if we have a way to, talk to you about like, hey, what do you think about this thumbnail? What do you think about the merch? You're going to get your own exclusive merch, being these super besties. So, that's kind of what it is.
It's like when there was AP merch, remember?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or think of it as like Club 33 merch, but this is, Best Life and Beyond besties.
Yeah.
Thank you, moderators, by the way, you're amazing. Delete all you need to go. You hit it. Yeah. Is the Patreon link in your guys' socials? No, it's not, but I'm going to put it in the chat. Hopefully that'll work. So bear with me while you're reading this.
Sure. The other Steve, been interested in getting frequent, exclusive, limited lives again. Yeah, that's
There you
what
go.
it's going to be.
It's
Theme Park
just-
Social Network, can't wait for Phantasmic. I know. Well, we can't either. Katie especially.
Dude, Phantasmic is gonna make me just.
Yeah.
I don't even know what I'm gonna do with myself. I'm trying to get the link, by the way.
Yeah.
Don't think I'm ignoring y'all. I'm not ignoring y'all. Open. Okay, I'm gonna put the link right here.
This is a happy place. No haters allowed. That's right.
The Blab community wants to thank the mods for doing their job. Why, thank you! Us too. You're the real MVPs. Okay, let me see if I copied this link right.
Have we ever walked off a Disney ride before? Yeah, Michelle, we
Oh
have.
my gosh, I've walked off quite a few.
The best one was Haunted Mansion from the attic all the way back from the attic. They didn't walk us through the graveyard and down to the exit. They walked us all the way back through the entire attraction, which was
I'd say it was
pretty
between
amazing.
that and Splash Mountain. Splash Mountain for me was like probably one of the coolest walk-offs I ever got.
The one I wanted to do that I've never gotten was the Space Mountain where they turn the
Dude,
lights on.
same,
Never seen
same.
it. Friends have done it, but not me. King's Girl sends $20. Thanks, King's Girl. Exciting news. I love you both. Can't wait to join the Blab Patreon community. Well,
We can't wait to have you.
can't wait to have you.
Okay,
That'd be awesome.
think somebody click that link and tell me if that works. I just pinned it. And thank you, Kings Girl. A lot of questions we keep getting. When do you think Pirates will open? I don't know. I feel like it's going to be a while longer now. I really do. I feel like it'll be like almost June-ish. I really do.
Yeah.
I really do. So I don't know. Would you ever film a walk-off ride video? No.
No.
No. Let's see. What is your actual opinion on the reservation system? Oh, no, they have not helped crowds. We talked about it before. The link worked. Yay!
So good.
Okay, so that way you can see it. I mean, we're just saying this is an extra offering for somebody. If you want to spend that extra money and you want more Blab in your life, do it. If you don't,
Yeah.
stay here. It's fine. We still
Yeah,
love
nothing's
you.
going to change as far
No
as.
harm, no foul. This is just an option, an extra thing that we're offering to you. This is, you're still going to get us. You're still going to get our attention here. The only reason we have super chats on is because those comments just come up and they're easier to see. But we answer comments whether they're a paid comment or not. So
Right.
just telling you that's how it is. Don't forget to change the link for Patreon in description. Okay. I think it should still be there. I think. George, thank you so much for the 5. A few weeks ago, I saw you guys at Disney. I'm sorry I was like, Spencer, LOL, sorry. A crazy fan. We were there for my
All good.
wife's birthday. Well, happy belated for your wife's
All
birthday.
good.
Have you ever had to evac Pirates Underground? No. I got stuck on Pirates for like 20 or 30 minutes when I was a kid. And that was the longest for me, but like it eventually got going. We're almost at 100,000 subscribers. Is that
Yeah.
wild?
Yeah.
That is crazy to me. I don't know. I don't know when it'll happen, but when it does, it'll be a very exciting time, and we'll all have to celebrate.
Yeah. Yeah.
I recommend a mid-tier, like $25. We looked into that. Trust me, this has been in the works for so long, but I couldn't figure out. It got confusing for me. We don't have anybody to help us out. There are some people. That have people that help them with their Patreon and their channel, like answering comments and whatever. We don't have that. We are just us two, and we give up a lot of family time. We give up a lot of, a lot, and we can't do it. So the reality is, if we could have done that, we would have, but we just made this tier and that was our plan. And who knows, maybe someday when we have some extra help, we will do that. But right now we just don't have that possibility. So again, we're going to see it. We're going to try. But this month is the testing period where we're going to kind of see what we can do. And then by next month is the hope that we actually implement it and go to town with it. So, we'll see. Huey, Dewey, and Louie, That's cute. At the $40 level, which I will join, can we get our what to expect monthly videos a few days in advance? I need to know if to bring a jacket in June. If we can make that happen with our schedule, I don't see that happening right away, but I could see that in a few months from now. Maybe that's something
or maybe
we could
some
look
other
into.
types of videos, just because we wait till the last minute to put those out because information from Disney sometimes comes last minute for the month, and
Like
so
this month, it came in.
we try to, compile all that information, and then sometimes the day of the video that we're shooting it, all this stuff comes out, and we're like, whoa, okay,
Yeah.
and so it
But
becomes.
I think in these tiers and these extra Patreon live streams, we're gonna be able to. I mean, there's probably only gonna be like, I don't know, 10 people in there or 20. I don't know. I don't know the number.
Yeah.
But we're going to have a little bit more time to discuss this. And then if you are on that top level with those monthly Zoom chats, that is something we can all talk about as a team. And, we can give you more personal attention for your trips. And say we do our meetups in real life, we can really sit down and talk about that. So while I can't promise that, because like Spencer said, the information, if it comes in, April 25th, we got to have time to shoot the video, edit the video, and get it out. Sometimes it just doesn't happen early. But we will do our best to look into getting those out. Maybe even if it's a day earlier for you guys. We would love to. We're trying to find ways to reward you as much as possible for joining our Patreon. But again, that's all. That's the best we can do. So. Let's see. Always bring a jacket, says Terry Robinson. And Terry Robinson, you are right.
That's true.
We always bring a jacket.
That's
Even
true.
when you think it's not going to be cold, somehow you'll always need a light jacket. That's why we recommend getting those like lightweight jackets, like that Epcot, the white one we have.
Yeah, it's like
the
they're
Avengers
windbreakers
one.
almost.
The we have 2 Epcot jackets, ironically, that are very thin.
Yeah.
And they are great.
Just enough, and they pack real small and
You
light.
can also bring a long sleeve shirt to throw that on after. Be careful, you whack the table there. So I hope that'll help. What about a month free if we buy Blab merch? Hey, that's something cute. We can look into that. Maybe that, something we could look at. Do you think churro inflation is a problem? I love that. Are you guys thinking of doing a paid Blab membership on Instagram too? We might. We're looking into it, but we don't want to commit to something that we can't do, if that makes sense. I just ordered a classic Mickey crew sweater. Tilly's online. Oh, cool.
That's cool.
That's really cool. Can't wait to see the Inquisitors roaming around Small World Land. Oh.
Star Wars Land.
What?
The Inquisitors.
Oh, Star Wars. Why did I think Small World?
Because it said SW, and you think it's Small World terms, but the Inquisitors are characters from the movie.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. Katie's not much on Star Wars. She doesn't really. I'm not really either. I'm original trilogy Star Wars, so that limits me a little bit. And I've seen a lot of the new stuff, and I like a lot of the new stuff. But I'm not one of those people who watched, the cartoons and read all the books and the comics.
Yeah.
A lot of stuff came after Return of the Jedi, and like I said, I'm old original trilogy guy.
Mm-hmm.
As far as my knowledge, and I do know a few things, but I'm not like versed on like all the worlds and the planets and these other stories that have come into play.
Costco asks, Phantasmic dining packages are here. Which dining experience will you be doing? We got 2 of them. They're not like right away because those reservations filled up, but we're definitely going to review them and go over our thoughts, opinions, and how it worked with you. So good question. When does Disneyland Halloween tickets go on sale? Because Wednesday Disney World tickets go on sale, and also Halloween Horror Nights in Orlando is on sale. They usually go on sale in August, so prepare for August. Usually, if it's anything like the past several years, it's usually in August when Disneyland Halloween tickets go on sale. Huey, Dewey, and Louie sends $5 and asks, we live in Hawaii. Aloha! Can you recommend a service that will buy World of Disney merchandise for us, or eBay channel where we can buy from? I don't know that. I think just Shop Disney. They have their website. If not, that's kind of, I think, your best option. Maybe somebody in the chat might have a better answer for you, but from what I know, I think just Shop Disney, and I don't really know of any other personal shoppers if that's another thing you're looking at. So I'm sorry to give you a not great answer, but I don't want to, steer you in the wrong direction. Calliope, oh my gosh, I think I said your name right, and if I did. Thank you for the 10. Hello. When will Halloween tickets go on sale for Disneyland and DCA? I missed the beginning of the video. Sorry if it was not a rep. Don't worry if you missed it. August. Usually August, I want to say first week, maybe second week of August.
Typically, that's how it's been. We don't know if that's still going to be the case. Which should
really burn a hole in our wallets, because if we're able to renew our Dream Keys, we're going to be renewing Dream Keys and buying Halloween tickets.
They planned that on purpose.
I'm terrified. I am terrified. So, we'll see. Are you guys possibly going to Las Vegas before the end of May?
You never know.
I don't know.
You never know.
I think it's a good possibility, though. Shop Disney has limited merch, but they change it constantly. Darn, yeah, I'm sorry. Valentine says eBay, Mercari, or some Instagram accounts. Okay. Will the Birya sandwich be around permanently, or is it a seasonal item? Dude, I hope it's around all the time. It is so good.
A lot of times I think they kind of do the research on these things and see how popular they become in their limited runs, and then possibly, make them permanent. Mm-hmm. We just don't know. We hope so. We really hope so.
Because that is so good.
Or maybe it's seasonal and they bring it back each year around the same time or something. I don't know.
Dude, that would be amazing.
I would say the same thing about that new Docking Bay 7 meal is really good too.
I haven't had that yet, so I can't comment.
Man, it's good.
Katie, do you have any interest in going to Aulani? We were talking about this this week. I actually finally have accepted, I think I could do that flight, because I've always wanted to go to Aulani, but I've been afraid of flying over the ocean. But I kind of feel like I can do it. So, yeah, I do. I hope that answered that question. I'll be there during Memorial Weekend. Michelle, about the TikToker. Yeah. I think that was horrific. Somebody stuck their foot in the Small World water. That made me so disappointed and sad that anybody would do that. So it makes me want to just hit TikTok over the head. I can't really say I enjoy that platform anyway. But yeah. So I don't think we're doing a group Vegas trip. We're gonna try to do one in the summer. We kind of talked to our friends about it. So everybody's schedules are just so crazy right now,
and we go a lot, so
trust me, the crew wants to go, because it's fun when the two of us go, but it's so much fun when we can go with our friends.
Yeah.
We have a TikTok. I don't really go on it anymore. I tried, and I was like, you know what? There's a lot of negativity there. It's a really negative app, and I don't love it. I'm going for grad night reunion. Oh, you never had a grad night, class of 2020. I'm telling you, that's the one thing that made me so angry. And I actually got angry because they did those grad night tickets for the grad night, whatever it's called. They should have said, for anybody who graduated in 2020 and 2021, this is for you guys. And should have either, if you're going to do the event for everybody, that's fine. But they should have, if you graduated and you show proof, you should get in free. Or something like that, because it is not fair for them, and that
it should have been the group that got snuffed out for the closure.
And I'm mad at Disney for not giving that option to people that graduated,
for those years. Yeah.
Let's see. So nobody learned their lesson from Cucumber Lady at Epcot. Clearly. Sometimes I just don't understand human behavior. 3PO. That's great.
Yeah, 3PO new.
Huey, Dewey, and Louie, can the $40 Patreon level folks make a promise not to share or discuss the content with us, or want to feel like an exclusive and feel like a best friend forever? Hey, that's between all of you guys. You guys can all talk about it.
What happens in the $40 tier stays in the $40 tier.
Whatever you guys do, and same with the $10 tier. What do you get for $40 a month? Thank you for asking. I will read it off because I was actually on the website here. Let's see if I can pull it up. Maybe I didn't. Hold, please. Oh, maybe if I click it here. Hold on. I'll let you read those while I get to that.
Yep. Are we going to the grad night reunion? No.
Lacey got your Super Bestie membership. Congratulations.
Welcome.
We're going to start testing it this month. So
yep.
we'll see if we can do that. I'm nervous because I just don't want to. I don't know. I'm just nervous about it. It's I don't know. I'm nervous.
Yeah.
I'm excited. Okay, for $10 a month, you'll be doing the Besties only live streams. So that's for everybody on the Patreon thing. So basically, extra What's Happening Wednesdays. You're gonna get that extra hour. You're also gonna get. So let's just say, here's a good example. We're in the park and we're live streaming, for an hour. If you're part of the Super Besties or the Besties on Patreon, we're gonna basically continue the stream just for you guys.
Right.
You're also going to get the behind the scenes content, so just little vlogs. This could be live streams of us cooking, you painting or drawing. It might be me showing my ear collection because that's what you guys want to see.
Yeah.
It might be talking about this, that, or the other. That's what the $10 Patreons are going to get. The $40, they're going to get that, but they're also going to get those Zoom calls. We're going to aim for that once a month. We just have to figure out the scheduling. And then you're also going to get the movie night, which we're going to work on. And then, of course, the chance to do possible in real life meetups, just depending on if we can make it happen and how we can do that.
How it's going.
So we're going to try and do that. You're also going to get, your members only merchandise once we work on that. That's not right away.
Yeah. Access to the members only merchandise.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's how it's going to be. We got a couple of super chats here. The Torino family, thank you for the 5. Disney got denied to dismiss the lawsuit over the Magic Keys. I saw that.
Yeah.
Any thoughts on maybe that's why there hasn't been much news on renewing? I think so.
Possibly.
I think so.
Yeah.
The movie night will be a virtual thing, kind of through, I think it's through Zoom, and then we'll just watch a movie together.
Back to that lawsuit thing. I think it has a lot to do with it because they have to figure out their fine print for the future and what they're saying and what they're offering because they kind of went a little beyond their the expectation and misled people as far as saying what you were getting, and it was it was misleading, and that's what the lawsuit is trying to prove. So I think they're going to wait to get their language correct and their fine print. Yeah.
Also, the other question was, so we can renew our keys. We haven't had any word on it yet. We don't know for sure.
Yeah.
We can't commit to it. I feel like they would want us to,
Oh,
but probably just raise the price.
Haley says, "Do we get an exclusive Patrick interview as well with Patreon?" I believe that should be implemented.
And
Katie.
that's again, we are going to have our own little area to talk about all this stuff.
Yeah.
So if that's what you guys want, y'all have your, your thing. Diendoff sends 5. Do you? Oh, I'm sorry. You don't think they will be removing Johnny Depp during the refurb of Pirates of the Caribbean? I don't think so.
We don't think so.
And we love you too, and also hope to meet you.
But you never know with Disney. Who knows? They, I don't know. That would.
I don't think they will, but I don't know. I don't think so, though. I just don't see it.
Yeah.
I don't see it.
Personally, either way, I would be like, whatever. They've altered that attraction so much.
I'll just go to smell the water.
Yeah. Once they removed, certain scenes and things, it started to become, a little bit different, but it still has that same vibe. So I don't think it'll ever, give or take a few different things, like whatever. But yeah.
Okay. All right. We need to wrap this up, though. We are getting close to the end here. But we hope you guys enjoyed this. Yes, we're gonna do more cooking on there. Makeup questions. We got stuff like that. But that's what we're gonna work on. So we hope you guys enjoyed this live stream kind of rant, if you will, for the first half.
If you came in for the second half and you didn't hear the whole thing about the reservations, go back and rewatch it. We just discussed what was announced today and from the company, and so and then we talked about Patreon, obviously. And we had a good chat with you guys. And make sure to hit the thumbs up on the way out. That helps us out a lot.
I like this. I want a Shimmer Summer theme.
Oh, man. Shimmer Summer. It's all
Summer
about it.
Shimmer. Iridescent Summer.
Yeah, but thanks for watching, guys. We appreciate you. We will see you tomorrow for another vlog. And you'll be surprised. No, you're not going to be surprised, but it'll be a good one. You'll enjoy it. And we got some Disney happening in the very near future. Like, I want to say tomorrow.
What tomorrow?
Disney.
Yeah, we're going tomorrow. Yes.
All right. So thanks for watching, you guys. We appreciate you. Comment, like, subscribe, give us thumbs up on the way out, and we'll see you next time. Best life and beyond.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.